Hi, everybody, and welcome to the chair. We're going to do a special edition of the MLB Postseason, uh, and just want to break that down for you baseball fans out there. And yeah, let's get it started. So, on Tuesday, which would be the first, I believe, as I check my calendar, yeah, 1st of October. So it's only fitting that the postseason starts then and there instead of having um, the regular season go into October. So they got that right this season. For the National League wild card, we'll have the Brewers going to um, Washington. The season series went 4-2 to Milwaukee. And in this wild card game, Brandon Woodruff would go for Milwaukee, and Max Scherzer will go for Washington. Of course, both clubs struggled this season. Uh, Washington worse, of course. And then they got better and better as the season went along. Um, we have Brandon Woodruff again going for Milwaukee, but I don't think he'll go too long because they have a long bullpen and all will be ready to go if you're a starter. You'll be asked to go. So there's Gio Gonzalez, who knows Washington a little, but you can't really trust them. But their bullpen is very set, ready to go. So that being said, I predict somehow without Yelich, I feel like Milwaukee will win, but um, well, maybe Washington. The winner, of course, goes to LA to play the Dodgers in a five game division series, which will be, of course, very tough against LA, the first seed. And also in the National League, you have St. Louis and Atlanta going for the divisional series as well. And it's funny how a lot of people didn't believe in the Cardinals, and they went off and did very well. And I think I predicted them to be in first place, and that's what ended up happening. Somehow, some way, I thought that they would persevere and have all the young guys and the pitching and the bullpen to get the job done, and they have for the Cardinals. For Atlanta, it's been the youth movement along with some veterans coming over. Brian McCann came back to um, the Braves to catch. So that one, I don't know. That's pretty tough because not only do you have uh, Cardinals with their team, they have Pablo Osuna, Hader, Fowler, and O'Neill in the outfield. Edmund, DeJong, Wang, and Paul Goldschmidt in the infield. You have Molina and Wieters catching. For the starters, you have Flaherty, Wainwright, Hudson going, Cola, Waka. In the bullpen, you have Carlos Martinez and Andrew Miller and Gant. And I know Andrew Miller, he wants to redeem himself after having postseason failures with New York and Cleveland previous postseason. So I think they'll be looking out for that. For the Braves, if you look at their team, you have Markakis, Osuna, Matt Joyce, who was an Angel, didn't do well, and he's stuck in the league for a long time after. You have Austin Riley, the great rookie. You have Billy Hamilton and Adam Duvall. Infield, you have Donaldson, who is taking this 1 year leap to being a free agent next year, and he's certainly proving his worth. Swanson, Alvarez, and Freeman, and Hitchivera just to back up. Again, you have McCann catching and Tyler Flowers backing him up. Starters, you have the rookie Florica. You have Dallas Keuchel, who signed late, but he's proven to be good. Max Fried, Julio Teheran, Falcones. Bullpen, you have Melanson, Green, and Newcomb, Jackson, Swarsik, and Jerry Blevins, and Darren O'Day. It's all these old names finding a home with the Braves and doing well with them. So I guess that's pretty cool to see for the Dodgers. Pollock, Bellinger, Peterson, Chris Taylor, and Kike Hernandez could play both infield, outfield. Uh, Turner, Seager, Gavin Lux, who sped up the process in the minors, and he's ready to go now. And they feel like he's there, so he's up with the club. And David Freese, Mac Muncy, Will Smith catching, Russell Martin backing him up with the Dodgers again. For the starters, Kershaw, who it felt like he got over the postseason hump last year in the postseason, but the feeling is that until he wins a World Series, that it wouldn't matter. So we'll see what happens with that. Ryu, who's been awesome this year. Walker Buehler, who's been awesome this year. Rich Hill has not been as good, but you understand his age. You understand. Bullpen, Kenley Jansen, speaking of not doing well, he's been up and down. He's just turned 32 on Monday. On Monday here. And he's been struggling all postseason long, honestly. So we'll look out for that. Joe Kelly coming over from Boston. He's kind of proving stuff again. He had a bad first half, but came back in second half and done well for the Dodgers. Out of the bullpen, Baez, who takes forever. Maeda, who was a starter, but he's been relegated to the bullpen. Jimmy Garcia and Urias, who's been awful. So if there's an Achilles heel with the Dodgers, you gotta say it's the pitching, other from Ryu and Buehler, and at times Kershaw. So there's a National League preview there for yourself and all you watching. I'll get to the predictions and the playoff bracket after the AL preview. So in the AL preview, you have for Wednesday night out in Oakland. 50,000 expected. They're opening Mount Davis up top, or they'll have the upper seats not tarped off, and you'll have a loud and proud environment hopefully there. Of course, right field bleachers are always loud, always playing drums, making chants and waving their flags around. And it's the Tampa Bay Rays going to Oakland. And Oakland did take the series 4-3 in the regular season. This is what I read is a. This is a, and I believe this. This would be a. This would be a. I don't want to. This is not. Both teams are looking for stadiums, and both teams are playing Moneyball. So this would be the Moneyball, not series, but the World Series game. It's a World Series game for sure. And they have Charlie Morton going for Tampa Bay now. Sean Mejia may go for the A's, but they're not as sure yet. This one again will be tough to predict. They're giving a slight edge to Oakland, but I really do not know. I'll go with Oakland, but and they've won more, and that's why they're hosting this. It'd be nice to see him make some noise in the playoffs. But of course, they would go to whoever wins this game would go to Houston. So right away, you're behind the eight ball as a wild card team. Houston's pretty stacked themselves. The outfield, Brantley, Springer, and Reddick, Lorenzik. Infield, Toro, Correa, Tuve, Gurriel. DH outfielder, you can have Alvarez going for the Astros, who's been awesome. This rookie out of nowhere, just doing great things. Uh, you can definitely see that happening. Um, so with that, I think hmm, in catching this is always something to me. Who you put in for the Astros, Chirinos or Maldonado? Maldonado back with the Astros as he got sick of being with the Angels, sick of being with the Royals, and decided to go to a winning team. They actually said that too, which is just the truth, honestly. Um, for the starters, this is one of the reasons why I really pick him to go all the way. So Verlander, Garrett Cole, and Zach Greinke. We also have Asuna coming out of the bullpen, Presley and Harris, and starters that will be fourth and fifth, but will be long relievers if the starters do not go too long. For Minnesota, you have Eddie Rosario, Max Kepler, Josh Cave, Wade Jr. Infielders, you have Sanu, Polanco, Luis Arias, C.J. Cron, a former Angel, of course. Mario Gonzalez, who played with the Astros, so he knows a little bit of them. Garver and Castro are the catchers for the Twins. They have a lot of people that you don't know, but it's okay because you'll know them now in this series against the Yankees. Jose Barrios has been awesome. Kyle Gibson, who's been there forever, it seems like, with the Twins. Jake Orizzi with Tampa. Now he's with Tampa with Minnesota. Perez there as well, coming out of the bullpen. Speaking of bullpen, you have uh, Rogers, you have Sergio Romo, Taylor May, you have Sam Dyson. For the Yankees, you have Stanton, you have Gardner, Judge, Maben, and Fraser out in the outfield. You have Ursaria, Didi Gregorius, Gleyber Torres, Luke Vogt, DJ LeMahieu, rounding out the infield. You have Gary Sanchez and Austin Roman catching. You have in the starters, you have Tanaka, Paxton, Happ, and Severino. Bullpen, you have a closer Chapman, you have Britton, you have Ottaviano, and CC Sabathia, which will be his final uh, postseason. So we ran through all that. We've uh, told you the first seeds are New York. Houston for the American League and LA, and they weight the wild cards. So I would say the wild cards. I would put Milwaukee and Oakland to win their wild card games, and then Oakland would play Houston, and I think Houston would win. And then between Minnesota and New York, I'd have to go New York, and then New York would play Houston. And I got Houston probably winning in 7 games. Excuse me, 7 games, 7 tough ones. Excuse me, just like in 2017, I think. Houston had to go to play New York and back and forth, and it was really one of those great series that we had in the game there. So National League wild card, you have Milwaukee, you have Washington. This still is very tough, and that's what makes a wild card very tough. It's only one game. Uh, I'd probably have to go Milwaukee again. Milwaukee without Yelich has been on this great run, and uh, they have youth. They have now a solid bullpen with Hader. Not so much great starters, but as long as they get to the bullpen and they can shut down whoever they need to on Washington, I can see that, but Max Scherzer is really good. Strasburg, if they make it, can make a dent in the series. I'd go Milwaukee, and they would end up playing the first seed of LA. um, so yeah, I go Milwaukee win the wild card, playing LA. Of course, LA would win that series. I think probably in three, sweeping Milwaukee, and then St. Louis, Atlanta in the divisional series. That's a tough one too, because the Cardinals they've been on a roll ever since July. I don't know who to go with. That's going to be a very very tough series. I think it will go seven, and somehow I think the Cardinals win. They just have something, and maybe the Braves don't have it yet, but they're on their way for sure. But the Braves have been solid, so this is what makes Atlanta tough and what to pick. So I'll go St. Louis, LA, and then it should be a great series and probably 7 game series. I'd have to go the Dodgers, winning the National League again, going to the third straight World Series, and this time against Houston. Of course, Houston beat them in 2017. Um, I think the same thing happens in the World Series this year. I think Houston will beat LA in uh, another 7 game series. So it will be a very, very it'll be an eventful postseason for sure. Um, Got to see how those championship series games go for sure, and the wild card. There'll be a lot of drama, hopefully, for sure, as we go along. So, with that being said, that was the postseason breakdown on the chair. I also want to make a note about my team, the Angels, and what I'm thinking will happen because they just fired the manager Monday, and it feels like with the with Joe Madden being fired with Chicago, that Joe Madden may want to come back to the Angels, but nothing is for sure. But it would seem like the stars would line up, and the return of Joe Madden may be a thing for sure for the Angels. We'll see. Excuse me. So we'll see you later. Brad Osmus, um, 1 year. I know he had a couple years, I think, left on his contract, but there's a feeling where they have to do this. The Angels have to do this, and also get pitching. So they're gonna have to spin smartly, like I've told some people out there, and we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a off season that will be uh, hopefully building and something to play for once come spring training and next season because I'm sick of losing. And we'll do an Angels report sometime in uh, in the spring and look at the calendar. That seems like so far ago, far far ago. Yeah, and also coming up soon on the chair, we will have a Clippers um, season preview and an NBA preview as well. Uh, the first preseason game is Monday against the Shanghai Sharks and the Houston Rockets. I had to look up who they were playing. Uh, on the preview, we'll break down everything and all the new faces going in new places. It'll be fun. So this is the exciting time of year where you have everything going, including hockey. Hockey, sure. Uh, for the chair on the postseason, uh, baseball coming up. That was it. It's been James. I'll see you again on another episode of The Chair. Bye.